So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A pickup there of 36. And that'll be good for an Indianapolis first.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
To throw on 2nd down is Locke. Throw right side, complete to Williams. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Throwing on 3rd down, Locke. It's complete to Williams. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And he's got his man, Hilton. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Throwing again is Locke. That's caught at the 2. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton from 6 yards away. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now the try here for the point after. And that will make this a 4-point game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Runner pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do, and if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A shotgun snap for Luck. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Chester Rodgers, 73 yards. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
And that one pushes the lead up to 11. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. We get a glance at the Colts defense as they work their way back on the field. They were able to force that 3 and out. That led to a touchdown. Defenses obviously love 3 and outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short and not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field that fast, but it set up their own offense, gave them a little spark, and they took it downfield and scored.
Now the question, can they do it again? Let's see. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And they'll go on the ground. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They run the counter now on first down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you're going to give him a little bit of help. Maybe keep your...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Devin Smith, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns have cut it back within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for 2 is snuffed out. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, look at the juke. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And oh, he spins past him and into space. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Terrence West, 76 yards. And the Colts add on to their lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Extra point attempt here still to come. This is blocked. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Henry Anderson, big man from Stanford, there for the stop.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Now a play fake here on first down. Backing up. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. 26 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Browns a first down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. They'll give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end is going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
He's got time in the pocket. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And Coons connects on this one. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So make it 3 field goals for him now. And this last one tightens things up a bit.
And I know that offense is on the sideline right about now, checking out the tablets and saying, man, we let a good chance slip away there. We've got to start finishing some of these drives.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And these numbers showing up on the screen, that's why he's their star. They kept him down for a little bit, couldn't keep him down for a full 4 quarters.
But what they were hoping for was a half of a game. If they could have shut it down at the half, they had done their job. But as you mentioned, a full 4 quarters, and the best, they always feel like they're one run away from changing the momentum or breaking something big, and we're starting to see that here in the second half.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. The big nose tackle, Danny Shelton, there to swallow him up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's Luck. He's got a man. It's Williams. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was stopped on that play. We said plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Here's Luck now on second down. Caught left side, Williams. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And the offense in that middle ground here on third down. 3rd and 5. 1 quarter remains until we crown the AFC champion. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun on third down, Luck. He's got his man. It's Williams. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down. Fresh set of downs here. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Luck on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Six yards to go here on second down. And they give this time to the tailback. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And his kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, push their backs clearly against the wall.
Here's the punter, McAfee, to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And a look here at the Colts defense. And they did well down near the goal line last time, forcing him to settle for a short field goal.
And in today's day and age, settling for a field goal of that distance is amazing. You can get 3 points now, where it's going to give you only 1 point for the extra point, which will be a little bit longer. But they have to feel fantastic about only giving up 3 in that situation. It could have been so much worse.
Yeah, could have. Now can they carry that over? Pryor has it complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The Browns send out their punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. So just 1 yard to go here on 3rd down.
Hey, watch 85. Watch 85.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you could plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football?
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
It's caught on the right side. Williams. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now, defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Hey, check.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule, trying to get 4 downs on first down, they did that plus 3.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Block on 3rd down. Caught left side by Hilton. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
So they're operating in the red zone. Here's Luck. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Andrew Luck taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Colts defensive unit trots back out there. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense. Who say, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And the defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. 11 yards for number 11. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Let's go!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And now the Browns defensive unit trots back out. And maybe for them at this stage, it's sort of put up or shut up time. They need to stop trailing here.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that one. They've got to go out there now and put an end to what's been going on in this ball game where they've just given up points, got pushed around, so to speak, during this contest. They've got to find a way to end it right here, right now.
Can they end it? Let's find out. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
Time for a break. Back to wrap up the AFC Championship game after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. And to give this time to the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So it'll be first down here after the run. And they'll run it here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too?
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks from the Super Bowl.